Hi guys, Apple Lee here, back with another video in this Time to Charge series. We have here the S7 Edge and the Anker wireless charger. So some of you guys were asking for a standard wireless charging test, so that's what we have here. We have a 2 amp input charger connected to the wall with a standard 2 amp out wall adapter. The S7 Edge here with a 3600 mAh battery. If you guys haven't checked out some of the other Time to Charge videos, link in the top right to the playlist. So let's get started. The phone is completely dead and we're going to set it on the charger and check back every 10 minutes and see how long it takes to charge. I expect it will be the longest of the Time to Charge videos, but not longer than the iPad Pro, which takes forever. So we'll leave it for 10 minutes and check back and see how it's doing then. Okay, so that's 10 minutes of charging on the S7 and the phone is now at 5%, so a lot slower than any of the other forms of charging we've done. We've done the fast charging, the fast wireless charging, we've done one with a battery case. All have been quicker than this, but it does have a slight different animation, so I can't remember whether on the fast wireless charger, but this one seems to have the battery in the middle and the power coming into the middle, whereas when it's plugged in you have the dots coming up from the bottom, kind of signifying where the charge is coming from. So that's pretty interesting, but we'll leave it again for another 10 minutes and see how it's doing after that. So that's 20 minutes of the S7 charging, S7 Edge, and we're now at 12% on the standard wireless charger. So we're looking at roughly 5.5 to 6% every 10 minutes. And I just want to say thank you to all you guys that have subscribed in the past few months. We've really been going well, and just make sure if you're not already, subscribe down below, click the red button, and we'll check back again in another 10 minutes. Right, so we're now half an hour into this charging test and the S7 is at 19%. So we're seeing around the same 6% every 10 minutes or so. We'll check back in 10 minutes at 40 minutes into the charging test. Alright, so we're now 40 minutes into the charging test. The S7 Edge is at 25%, so a quarter of the way there. So that could mean 160 minutes, which is 2 hours and 40 minutes, and that's if it doesn't slow down towards the end. So we could be here for a long time, but we'll check back in 10 minutes again and see how it's doing. 50 minutes into the charging test and the S7 Edge is now at 30%, so still the same, and we'll check back again in another 10 minutes. Alright, so we've been charging for 1 hour with the S7 Edge and the standard wireless charger, and we are now at 35%, so still going just as slow. So I would say this is more of an overnight thing, or if you go to work and you're just keeping it topped up, but certainly compared to fast wireless charging or fast cable charging, there's no comparison. It is really very slow. I think it's probably slower than the iPhone at charging, and that's saying something. But we'll check back in another 10 minutes until it's done and see how it's doing then. Alright, so we're now at an hour and 10 into the charging test. The S7 Edge is at 40%, still 60% to go, so we'll check back in 10 minutes. An hour and 20 has passed since the start of the test, and the S7 Edge is now at 45%, so we're still going at roughly the same charge rate. And I just checked, the iPad Pro took over 4 hours to charge, so I think we're well within beating that. So we're now an hour and a half into the charging test and the S7 Edge is at 51%, so just over halfway. So we could be looking around 3 hours, as I said, to charge the phone. Quick question for you guys. Do you think you prefer to have it every 10 minutes for a phone, or something like a laptop or iPad every 15 minutes? Or would you prefer to check back every 20% or 25%, and then 40 and 50 and so on, as opposed to every 10 minutes, just so it's quicker for devices, you know, because otherwise devices like phones with wireless chargers takes a long time, because I've been doing it that way for the past 7 videos, but I was thinking I could change it. So comment down below which you prefer, percentage or time. Just let me know. I think it will give roughly the same estimate, you know, overall it will give you the same time after 100%, and you can kind of average out how long it'll take to get a certain percentage throughout the charge test. So just let me know with a comment and like the video if you like the whole series, and we'll check back again in another 10 minutes. Alright, so we're now an hour and 40 into the charging test, and the Samsung is at 57%. So at an hour and 40 would have been done with the fast charging cable. So you can see how much faster the charger is when it's plugged in as opposed to wireless charging. And as I said, it's better for overnight or long durations of charging, just keep it topped up. But if you're in a hurry, use the fast wireless charger or fast cable charger. So we'll check back again in another 10 minutes and see how it's doing then. Okay, so we've been charging for an hour and 50, and the S7 Edge is now at 62%. So slowly getting there. We'll check back again in another 10 minutes. So we've just hit the 2-hour mark in the charging test, and the S7 Edge is at 69%. So almost there. We'll check back again in another 10 minutes. Okay, so that's another 10 minutes, taking us up to 2 hours and 10 minutes. The S7 Edge is at 74%, so nearly 3/4 of the way through the charging test, and we'll check back in another 10 minutes. That's another 10 minutes, taking us up to 2 hours and 20 minutes. The phone is now at 79%, so still going roughly at 6% every 10 minutes. And I haven't said how warm it is, but it's pretty cool. It's certainly cooler than when it's fast charging, similar temperature to when it's just plugged in normally, so no need to worry about that. I know there's been a lot of exploding Note 7s, but so far S7 Edge has been pretty good with battery temperatures and not exploding. But we'll check back again in another 10 minutes and see how it's doing then. Alright, so we're now 2.5 hours into the charging test of the S7 Edge with the standard wireless charger at 84%, still going 5 to 6% every 10 minutes, and we'll check back in another 10 minutes. Okay, so we're now at 2 hours and 40 minutes. This is when I said it would be possibly done, but we are now at 88%, so we're looking at another 20 minutes perhaps to go, as long as it doesn't slow down too much towards the end. But we'll check back in another 10 minutes to see how far it's got. That's another 10 minutes, so we're now at 2 hours and 50 minutes. And the S7 Edge is at 93%, so slowly getting there. Next 10 minutes or just after, we should be nearly done. So we'll check back then, or if it's close, I will check back and tell you how long, if it's slightly over 10 minutes. But hopefully we'll be done in the next 15 minutes. Okay guys, so as you can see by the green light up here, the phone is now done charging. We're at 100%. And that took over 3 hours and 5 minutes to do, so I left it for 15 minutes from the last point. So you can see it's a lot slower than most of the other ways of charging this phone. So if you want a rapid charge, do use the standard fast charger that's provided. But if you are going to leave this overnight, or you're charging at work during the day, then by all means use this standard charger. So it's an Anker G wireless charger, 2 amp input. There may be some variances between models, and depending on whether you have 1 amp or 2 amps. But you can see it's going to take around 3 hours to charge from 0 to 100%. If you guys found this video helpful, do leave a like down below, subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.